All right, so we're going to start out with the standard, and then we're going to go to a pretty clear goal. What we're trying to do here is solve linear equations, and we'll get to inequalities next time in one variable. So we're gonna cover literal equations later. Right now we want to solve linear equations. Okay, so we're going to get started. So our first thing we need to cover is the goal. Okay, so the goal, and that looks really bad. The goal is to solve equations. So we want to isolate variables. We want to get them alone and see what their value is. And we're going to start with maybe, something like this. So we've got 4b plus 5 equals 1 plus 5b. And we want to solve for the variable b. Okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to get rid of all the constant terms on one side and all the variable terms on the other and get them all on one side. So what I want to do is get rid of this 4b. So I'm going to subtract 4b from both sides of that equation. And I get 5 equals b plus 1. And if I subtract 1 from both sides of the equation, I get b equals 4. Okay? So hopefully you were following along with that. We've also got another one over here. Let's do this one. So we got 8 minus 4s equals s plus 13. So what I want to do is I want to solve for s. So I'm going to get rid of negative 4s here by adding it to both sides. So I get 8 equals 1s plus 4s is going to be 5s plus 13. I want to make sure that you see that that's a 5. So that is 5s. Did it again. 5s. And then I want to subtract 13 from both sides of the equation. And I get negative 5 is equal to 5s. And then what's happening between 5 and s is multiplication. So we want to undo multiplication. So we're going to divide both sides by 5. So we get s equals negative 1. But it's not always going to be that easy because we've got equations like this one. 15.3 plus 8 equals 7.2 plus 5x. No, that's not right. Sorry. 15.3 plus 1h equals 1.3 minus 1h. Okay? So I want to solve for h in this equation, but I've got decimals, so that's going to kind of slow me down a little bit, but all I have to do is follow the pattern. That I've been following. So I'm going to add 1h to both sides. So I've got 15.3 over here plus 2h equals 1.3. And then if I subtract 15.3 from both sides, and check me on this, you'll get negative 14 equals 2h, and then you can divide both sides by 2. And you get h equals negative 7. So you might need a calculator for problems like these, but they shouldn't be too terribly difficult. Let's try another one. And then you'll get also fractions. I want to cover one with fractions. So I've got negative 1/4 a minus 4 equals 7/4 a minus 3. So what I want to do is I want to get rid of this negative 1/4 a and combine it with this 7/4 a. And how do you add fractions to each other? Well, let me move this over first. So I've got 1/4 a, and I've got negative 4 comes down. I've got negative 1/4 a and positive 1/4 a will cancel out. They'll add to 0. So I've got negative 4 is equal to 7/4 plus 1/4. So let's see what that is. So 7/4 a plus 1/4 a minus 3. I've got two denominators that are the same. And then my numerators are also different. So if I have two denominators that are the same, and I've got common terms, so like terms, I've got a's with both of these fractions, what I can do is add across the top and then divide. So I've got 7 plus 1, which is 8 over 4a, minus 3, so that minus 3 is still there, and this negative 4 is still there. So this is going to give me 8 divided by 4 is going to be 2a minus 3 equals negative 4. And then I can add 3 to both sides. And I get 2a equals negative 1. So 2a I brought down here. Negative 4 plus 3 is negative 1. And then I've got, if I divide 2 on both sides, I've got a equals negative 1/2. Okay? And they can get a little harder. See problems like this. Like this. Maybe I've got 4n plus 2 is equal to 6 times 1/3 n minus 2/3. And then I have to solve this for n. So first I'm going to distribute this 6. And right here I've got 6 times 1/3. Well, that's the same as 6 divided by 3. So that's going to be 2n. And then I've got 6 times negative 2/3. Well, 6 times negative 2 is going to be negative 12. Negative 12 divided by 3 is going to be negative 4. And then from there I can just convert it to a pretty nice equation. So I can add 4 to both sides, and I get 4n plus 6 equals 2n. And then from here, what I can do is I can subtract 4n from both sides. And I get 6 is equal to negative 2n. And then from here, I can divide negative 2 on both sides of the equation, and I get n equals negative 3. And that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to solve some of these equations out and just isolate the variable. So you look at what operations are happening and you're trying to undo them. Let's do one more. I've got this one, 3h equals 7 times 2/7 minus 3/7 h minus 10. So that's an h, not an n. And then I want to do the exact same thing. So I'm going to distribute this 7. So I've got 7 times 2 is 14. 14 divided by 2, 14 divided by 7 is going to be 2. So I've got that one. And then 7 times negative 3 over 7. That's going to be 7 times 3 is, should be 21. Yeah, 21. So negative 21 divided by 7 is negative 3h minus 10, and then 3h on the other side. And then I want to combine like terms on this right-hand side, and so I've got, write that a little cleaner, and that was 2. So I've got 2 minus 10 and negative 3h. So I'm going to write the negative 3h first. Bring that other 3h down. 2 minus 10 is going to be negative 8. So from here, I can get really close to solving it. All I have to do now is add 3h to both sides. And I get 6h equals negative 8. And then what I can do is divide 6 on both sides. So I get h equals negative 4/3. So that reduces. So negative, the 6's cancel. I'm left with 1h, or divide to 1. So I want to make sure you understand when I say cancel. 6 divided by 6 is 1, not 0. And then negative 8 divided by 6, I can divide 2 on top and bottom, and I get negative 4 over 3. So I hope that helps. It's just a little refresher on how to solve equations, and it's just a little tougher. If you need some one-on-one time, I'll show you how to do that. But that is what I wanted to show you. So goal is to solve equations, and you will be handed equations like this on your EOC. It's not limited to this. This is the beginning, but that's fair enough of what we need.